Kody and Shawn. And their first mistake was they didn't clear the compound.
And they never spoke a word to each other. There was absolutely no communication. It was unbelievable.
Right. They didn't talk to each other at all. They were both
Not a
kind of
word.
doing their own thing. They find the hostage first, then they take the hostage out, and then they have their gas mask on, and then they decide to break the hostage back in with them to look for the asset. But now they're dying from smoke, and he's dying from smoke, and they never get the asset. It was a disaster.
It was a shit show.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
And I'm Lori.
We are talking about Special Forces Season 4, Episode number 7. This one's called Composure. It's okay name.
What do you think it was in reference to?
I would say Kody losing his composure in the DS interrogation, kind of.
Yeah, and maybe Shawn having too much composure.
Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah.
Could be, yep.
All right. So we definitely find out that Kody sleeps with mouth tape.
We did?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Because in like one of the first scenes, first of all, he's sleeping like sitting up on all these pillows, like leaning up, and he has mouth tape on.
I missed that. I did not see that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we start out at 0640 hours, which is 6:40 a.m., day 7, and there's 8 recruits remaining. I honestly, this is, because I was watching and typing, so I must have missed it. So number 9, Christie Rampone, I kept hearing her cough. That must have been when they were showing it, when he was laying there.
Yes.
She sounded horrible.
Horrible.
So the medics asked to see her, and they think that she's got some sort of infection that she really shouldn't be there.
Yeah, horrible.
She's upset. I don't blame her. I mean, she didn't want to go out that way, but the
hey,
DS
at least
tell
she
her.
finished. She finished what she finished. She should be really proud of herself.
Yeah. I mean, the
That
DS
couldn't last
said
a
to
day.
her, absolutely. I know. They're like, you shouldn't be upset. Like this wasn't your decision.
Mm-hmm.
Kody's talking to Brianna about what day it is. He's, doesn't even know. He's like, okay, it's day 7. She says, I don't know how much longer of this I can take. And Kody's talking about, oh, I look like shit. My clothes are all dirty. I'm like,
dude, that's your biggest concern? That's your biggest concern right now. So weird. He's weird. He's a weird dude. He's a weird guy.
Really,
I'd never watched any of the Sister Wives things, so I really knew the bare minimum about him. But he's very odd. He's an odd duck.
He is odd. Mark Estes is complaining about his ear hurting him, so he has Brianna look at it, and she's like, well, there's like a blister on it. And he's like, I think I have cauliflower ear. And Kody's like, well, you're not a tough guy unless you have cauliflower ear, which I thought was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then Brianna's like, but he's a model. He's like, oh, okay.
And Gia's like, I don't know whether they actually showed it on the show or whether it was a post that I saw, because I watched the Special Forces has their own little social media posts. And Gia was like, and why is it important to like not have cauliflower ear? And he was like, remodeling. Oh, it's just funny.
So next it's 0832 hours. So it's 8:30 in the morning, and Christie's gone. So 7 remain.
How about when they were still in the tent and Kody was making that stupid like bebop like song that he was doing? Do you remember that? And Chicken Fry was like, take me out back and shoot me.
I know.
That's great.
You can just tell by everyone's reaction to him that he is really agitating them. I mean, at day 7, he's really agitating them.
Well, one of my favorite words from this episode that I thought was very on point is the DS kept calling him a buffoon. And that is
a buffoon.
It should just be a t-shirt that he wears.
Buffoon. Yeah.
Because it's very apropos.
Yeah.
And he can't stop with maybe, what was that? He made some weird comment too about masculinity. And I was like, oh my God, he just can't stop. He can't stop.
I know. No, he can't. He can't help it. He can't. Gia is in the camp and talking to Shawn about like, when did she stop the Olympics. And she said, well, in 2016, that was her last, that was the first time she quit. But then after that, it's not that she quit, she kind of just retired. She just really what got in her head and she just really felt the need to go back. So then she went back again and then she retired again in 2019.
And I think she was only 19, right? I
She
think she
was
was only
young.
19 when she went out the second time. I think
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
possible. I know she was
She
young.
was really young. She started really young and then ended really young.
Yeah. So the DSs call them all out to line up. And they say it's going to be completely up to you whether or not you stay on course. Like you have to rely on each other for this next challenge. And I liked this quote that he said, the strength of the pack is the wolf and the strength of the wolf is the pack. And I've
Yep.
never accomplished anything on my missions alone. So I thought that was a very important quote. And I think that as you can see with Shawn and Kody,
You gotta have teamwork.
you got to have teamwork. So they're going to the next mission is on the outskirts of this Moroccan town. He's going to split them into three teams of two. But before that happens, as soon as they get there, they call Mark Estes, number 3, to go be seen by medical. And they look at his ear and they say, this can be permanently disfiguring. Like you need to go into surgery now. Which and he's like, is there any way we can only wait a couple days? And they're like, no, you can't wait.
Right, right. Well,
So
listen, they gotta have somebody off. Not everybody everybody can't stay on. Everybody can't stay on.
Yeah.
So whether it was really something or it was, all right, we'll use this to get it, you know what I mean?
To get him out.
If he makes his money off his face, then hey,
Right.
can't blame the guy. That's your livelihood.
Right. So now it's 10:56 a.m. and now there's 6 recruits remaining. So the DSs tell them what their mission is going to be. You're going to have to go and save a hostage. You're going to have to go and retrieve a hostage, and you're going to have to retrieve an asset, a very important asset.
Right. And I think he also said you had to clear each room. So
he said you had
to.
Yes.
Right? You had to clear each room.
Yeah,
so
the mission is
in each room.
Right. The mission is to clear the compound. We know for a fact that there's a hostage and there's a piece of equipment and it'll be marked with the number 0749 and it's a small box. They must first find the asset once they clear it and then rescue the hostage before the building explodes, and you only have 2 minutes to do it. So the first team is Kody and Shawn, and their first mistake was they didn't clear the compound.
And they never spoke a word to each other. There was absolutely no communication. It was unbelievable.
Right. They didn't talk to each other at all. They were both kind of doing their own thing. They find the hostage first, then they take the hostage out, and then they have their gas mask on, and then they decide to break the hostage back in with them to look for the asset. But now they're dying from smoke and he's dying from smoke and they never get the asset. And then Kody leaves and leaves Shawn in. It was a disaster.
It was a shit show. And it was Kody that took the hostage into that room. But again, Shawn didn't, she just lost her shit, man. She didn't step up and say, not a good idea. There was and nobody even took the 5 minutes to just make a plan real quick and say, okay, let's hit whatever's on our right for whatever. But there was no plan at all.
There was no plan. I mean, that's when the DS called him. He said, this was buffoonery.
It's the buffoonery. I'm telling you, it's a perfect word for him.
Yeah. You didn't know what you were doing. I was giving you timings. What did you lead? You got the hostage first.
He said the only thing, right. He said the only thing you led was up your ass.
He's like, it was horrendous. And then he says to Shawn, what were you doing? And she's like, he said, you became the sheep instead of the shepherd. And, taking control, you can see what was going wrong. Like she, listen, it was tough for her. And you could see it was tough for her. So then team 2 is Andrew and Gia, and they're having a hard time finding the code. But I did like that Andrew walks out and then he's like, come on, Gia, you have to come. So he did start with the communication to make sure that they stayed together, right? I thought that was good.
Surprised. Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't do better. I was just a little surprised. I would have thought maybe that they would have done better. 'Cause they both have done very well on the challenges.
Yeah,
But,
no, I agree.
maybe, you know, too, like, I think that Andrew is probably really used to Shawn leading. I think she's probably the big leader in the relationship. So, I don't know if
Could
that had
be. I
anything
mean,
to
it
do
could
with it, you
be.
know?
Yeah. So they wind up they don't find the asset. They never find the asset, but they did get the hostage out. But they failed because they didn't, they do both things that they were supposed to do. Then team 3 is Randall and Brianna, and Brianna gives us a little background information that she's her father's fourth daughter, and I was like a son to him. I was a tomboy. So she's used to, doing hard things, and she really wants to make her dad proud. So I think that in this mission, she did a great job. I mean, they get the hostage out, they get the asset, they get the hostage out, they get out before it explodes, they pass. They're the only team to pass. And on the way back, Brianna says, like, I really needed this pass today. Because in the morning, she was saying, I don't know how much longer I can take this. And this was the little wind in her sails that she needed to, help keep her going.
Mhm. Mhm.
I liked that Kody did say to Andrew, "I'm sorry I got your wife killed." I he said these were his words, "It was a dereliction of duty," meaning
And it
himself.
was. And it certainly
Yeah.
was because he did leave her.
Yeah.
You know, he left her.
Andrew said, "You just friggin' ditched her?" Like,
Mhm.
he looked pissed. I don't
Well,
blame him.
and I think too, because it's probably something that it would never even cross his mind to leave Gia. Like,
No.
think
No, no,
I'm
no.
just
He would
thinking
never. No, no.
that's the kinda
Right.
that's the kinda guy that he is, that it would just never even cross his mind to do that. And I love how Chicken Fry was telling Kody how he forgets about the team.
Yes. I love that she stepped up. I love that she said that.
Mhm.
She said, I think in challenges going forward, you need to not take the leadership role and kind of fall behind
Mhm.
because you're not doing a
Yeah,
great job, basically, is what she was saying.
exactly.
Brianna is riding back with Andrew, and they're both saying how pissed Shawn was. And Andrew's like, yeah, you could just see it on her face.
Mhm. Well, she said that she doesn't like to not be in control.
Well, she's used to just being in control of herself, too. She's not really used to being, with the exception of working with her husband.
Yeah.
So they get back to the camp, and the DSs decide that they're going to bring Shawn back because this
Now,
was
I wanna ask you this. I don't remember them putting goggles over the hood previously, but this time, they put goggles over the hood.
no, they didn't. They
The
didn't
other
before.
times
No,
they
you're
didn't do
right.
it, right? They didn't do it before because
Yeah.
I was looking at that like going, "I don't remember them putting the goggles on." So,
I
I was
wonder
wondering
why
if
they
you caught that.
switched it.
I don't know. Maybe it's just an
Yeah.
added thing to fuck with you, I don't know.
Could be. It absolutely could be. So they chose Shawn because this was her worst performance of the whole course. They get her back there, and the DSs say, today was an absolute cluster. Like, what happened out there? And she's like, I've never had to do a full team thing. He said to her, you come across as robotic, and you still are right here, right now. Like, you're just very stoic.
Mhm.
And she is. He's absolutely right. He's
Oh, most
absolutely right.
definitely.
So she said, my entire career was fear-based. I had a lot of people above me, high up, and tell me I was worthless and that they didn't want me to succeed. So if I showed emotion, I was cut. The only emotion I could show ever was a smile. And if I did that at the wrong time, I was cut. So she learned not to show emotion, which I can't even imagine considering, like you said, she was so young when she was doing this. I mean, she was a teenager.
It's actually very damaging to your psyche.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
very damaging to your psyche
Yes,
because to wanna be in control of all situations is a fallacy because there is no control in life. Life is the
right,
most
right.
uncontrollable thing that there is. So, it would be horrible to have to go through life like that. But
Yeah,
that's
and
one
but
of the things that I like about the show is that they're kinda really going into definitely some psychology.
definitely.
There's a lot of things that really make you go, "Hmm," and not a lot of television does that anymore. So, that's kinda what I
No,
like.
most of them don't.
Yeah.
Not reality television anyway.
No, yeah.
She also says that, she's so used to just shutting off her emotions and being so focused during competitions, like, that worked to her advantage because there'd be no emotion with it, you know?
Mhm.
It was just her being focused on the task. But she said when she stopped competing, I guess this is what happened in 2016 is, she went down a bad way, and they're like, "Well, what does that mean?" And she said depression, she had an eating disorder, she lost her identity.
Mhm.
And that's why she went back to competing because she needed that. And I wonder, like, did she do something in 2019? I mean, I
Who
feel like she
knows?
definitely needs, like, needs something. I hope that this really helps her. I really do. I hope that I mean, listen, I think she's an awesome person. I think her and her husband are a great couple. I think that they are a
Great
great
couple.
team.
Great
Yeah.
great couple. Yeah. Well, I feel like the show has probably been very helpful for everybody who stayed on it for any significant amount of time in a
Yeah.
personal and meaning way.
Yeah.
Whether the whole thing is totally produced or not, I think that definitely the participants walked away with something useful.
Yeah, I agree. So DS Foxy tells her it's okay to cry. We want to see a more human side of you. And then she goes back to the tent and she tells him that. And Cody's like, oh, like he was taken aback
So
by that.
weird. So
Yeah,
weird. Like his responses are weird. It's just like, oh, I can't.
I know. Then they're all eating and they call number 4 and Cody drops what he's doing and runs out there and they just tell him that he's now the duty recruit.
Okay, so there's many things about this.
Yeah.
His bizarre reaction when they call him, like, "Oh,
Right.
okay." Running out there like a weirdo, yelling. I was just like, he's painful. He's painful to watch. Very painful.
Yes, he really is. So then after they tell him that, he goes back into the tent and he says to like, gee, well, you're gonna have to tell me what to do. Like, I don't know how to do this. And she's like, it's not that big of a deal.
It's like it was 2 items that they needed. Oh, and he's like, "Oh, tell me what I need to do, but don't tell me all at once."
Right.
He tells him 2 things. And how about when he left and Chicken Fry was like, "Okay, this is the deal. We gotta throw him a bone once in a while to make him so that we can deal with him." I mean, and Randall was like, "Oh, well, that's like more
Right.
than I can do."
Yep. Like you're a better
It's
person than me.
it's really sad because I don't know how if he wasn't such a total narcissist, I don't know how he could even look at himself in the mirror after this episode. It was really I mean, no one likes him.
No.
They think he's above and that is what you got from every single person on that
Yep.
episode.
Yep.
So just and to somebody like that, that's gotta be like the worst thing in the world that there's no respect for him. And
Right.
for him, respect is huge, but there's absolutely none there. I watched a couple social media posts, and on one of them, I think it was File Files, Andrew and Shawn were on there. And Andrew, remember I told you that he just became a doctor? I think it's psychology because he said he spent a lot of time with Kody, like trying to pick his brain apart to see like how he's like really functioning, you know what I mean? Like he was almost like a specimen to him because
Mm-hmm.
he was just found him very interesting, his dysfunction.
Yeah. I mean, he is very interesting. I mean, literally the DSs are making fun of him, like
That's what I'm
behind his back.
saying.
Like everybody is making
Everybody.
fun of him. Yeah. Yeah.
How about when the DS said that Cody was a big version of Chucky?
I know. I know.
Like, oh my God. And
So
how
then
he
we do see
considers himself a great
a
leader.
good, yes, I
A
know.
great
I was like,
leader. What?
so Andrew does try and break it down with him. You see that he says to Cody, like, what would you say are the pros and cons of your lifestyle? And he's like, well, I had 18 kids with 4 wives. And Andrew said, well, do you see a downside to that? And he's like, yeah, there's been 3 divorces. Like I never want to get married again. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. And how about he said certain things he won't own?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so continue on. What are those? It's just weird. He just said certain things he won't own. I was like,
So an interesting thing is I was listening to a podcast today, Sarah Fraser. She does a lot of sister wives. She's like obsessed with sister wives. She's had them on her show before. And she was talking about this episode with Kody. And Christine, one of the sister wives, she just recently wrote a book and her daughter McKelty is pretty close with Kody. Like Kody calls her all the time and she's married and Cody's very like he really likes McKelty and the husband. and he's always reaching out to Mykelti. And Mykelti tries to hold him accountable for her siblings. Like, well, why aren't you reaching out to this one? Why aren't you reaching out
Mhm.
to that one?
Mhm.
And he tries to put it off like, well, this is the relationship I want to have with you. And he kind of, at the end when they finally did bring him back, he kind of admitted that. Like, if they engage with me, then I will reciprocate it.
But
So
that's not how it works.
I know exactly,
That's not how it
exactly,
works.
exactly.
He's
Right.
like the
Uh,
worst father. Like, having kids is not an equality battle.
right.
No. It's about
Right.
getting your ass handed to you all the time. There's no, you have to earn your kids' respect. That's just wild. Wild.
It is wild, and I'll be honest with you, I thought for sure he was gonna mention something about his son.
Yeah, like, how come you don't, like, say, like, that's the worst thing that's happened
Right.
to you? Like,
Right.
how do you not say that?
Unless he did and
Oh.
they didn't show it, I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe. Right.
I don't know. So then they get called out, the DSs called them out again, and they have a course out there waiting for them. This course is designed to get you to the best version of yourself through pain and through suffering. Okay. So the first two that are going is Brianna and Shawn. It was kind of a race. Like they had to like run, they had to get to monkey bars, and then they had to do the tire thing and like
Mhm.
it was like an obstacle course, right? So Shawn won, so she was able to go back to the barracks. Then it was Randall and Andrew, and Randall won, so he was able to go back to the barracks. Kody and Gia went together, but I don't think either one of them won because he kept them both out there. Like they kept them both out there.
Yeah, I was having trouble following the rules of that one.
Yeah. So
I'd be
then
like,
Gia and
"Give me
Andrew,
better instructions. Give me better
I
instructions
know.
on how this actually works."
I know. So then Gia and Andrew had to go against each other again, and then Andrew wins this time, and he gets to go back to the barracks. Then Kody and Brianna go against each other, and Kody wins this one, and he gets to go back to the barracks. Now it's Gia and Brianna, so now they're doing this course for the third time, these two,
Ugh.
Gia and Brianna. Yeah. So the DS says whoever gets to the monkey bars first, it's critical. So Gia gets there first and she gets across it and Brianna keeps falling and Gia wins and she gets dismissed and she gets back to the barracks and she's like, it isn't fair. I'm stronger than she is. And Shawn's like, it's nothing is fair. This is not about being fair. First of all, I really like that Gia had that empathy for her,
Uh-huh.
physically stronger. I mean, she's a tiny girl, but she's physically stronger because she's worked out so much. Like she's very much in shape, right?
Yes, yes, and I think she did a lot of gymnastics
Yes, yes.
when she was
Yeah,
young.
throughout yeah, yes. But I think she's continued to do it, because she's
Yes,
in her 20s
yes.
now and she's still
Yeah.
in very good shape. As is her mother, by the way. I think her mother's in very good shape too. I
Mhm.
mean,
She is.
yeah. And I felt like Brianna was really trying and giving it her all. She just physically couldn't do it. I was very glad that the DS asked her, like, are you giving it everything you got? She's like, yeah, I am. I am. And
Mhm.
she's like, I want to be here. I was very glad that they kept her there because I was afraid that they were going to cut her because I feel like
Yeah.
they need to cut
They
people.
s
But I
cut
was like,
people, right, right.
right. So I was very glad that she didn't get cut for that reason because I think that she's got more in her. And
Mhm.
then Cody's telling Gia she's really good about her cleanliness. I mean,
It's
what the
cringe.
hell?
It was so cringy, very cringy. I'm thinking that he's a stinker. I'm thinking that he's not really utilizing his shower time, which is so
That's,
rude in that type of
yes,
environment when you have to have close quarters with other people.
yes.
Rude. Ugh.
So meanwhile, the DSs are in the back and they're talking about Kody and how everyone in the group hates him and they all know him better than we do. So they're like, we're going to bring him back. But they do give him credit for an old guy. They say he's kind of doing okay physically.
Mhm, mhm.
So they call him back and, he gets like that jackrabbit look again, like as soon as they call his number. He really is. He really is. They ask him how he's feeling and he says that he's happy to be here. He said he cherishes this challenge. I I
He's
thought that
just
was an odd
weird.
reaction,
It's
right?
weird, weird, weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. I have a question for you and then for the audience.
Okay.
So, do you think that the DS's bought that he was gonna his taking ownership?
That he's going to do
Because
it going forward?
Yes, that he's going to do a good like, in that moment, do you think that because Diaz asked him if he feels that he's taking proper responsibility of the fallout over his kids, and Kody makes that "I smell shit" face, and then does this
Yeah.
little crying jag and thing, but so I wanna know, do you think that Diaz has bought his bullshit? Because I think he was saying what they wanted to hear. I think he
Well,
was turning on the waterworks, and I think he was saying what they wanna hear.
no, I mean,
I
I
just
think that
don't
he
feel like it
owned it
was
that
genuine.
I I think that I think he said that I don't wanna own my part in it. And they said to him, "That's immature. Like, that's you
Right,
need
it's a
to own.
very
You're never gonna
adolescent
move
way of
forward."
looking at things, right.
Right, adolescent, exactly. You're never gonna move forward if you don't own your part in it.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Nobody wants to take ownership." Like, but you have to. There's a point in your life where you have to. I mean, whether or not he's gonna do it, it's really up to him. I don't know if I think that he did take ownership in the fact that he doesn't take ownership,
Well, there you go.
right?
Something. Great, it's very good, Wendy. They said chicken fried told you you had to throw the bone, so very good, you threw the bone. Yes, just we can give him
Right,
that bone.
right? I mean, I don't know. This guy is just, in my opinion, and this was the opinion I had before he started, is this guy is a tool. I think he's even a bigger tool than I thought he was before. I just don't like him. I just don't like
I
him.
just feel like I feel like he's so desperate for the approval of the DSs because it's just all tied in with his masculinity that I just feel like he just told them what they wanted to hear, and I don't think that they made any progress in that thick noggin of his.
No, I don't think I yeah, I mean, I don't know because then when he does get back to the tent, he goes back to the tent and he said that, they're saying to me, "Just get over your facade and stop protecting yourself and be honest with yourself." And Andrew said to him, "Welcome to the game."
But this is the thing. But even then, he says that they were talking to him about not taking ownership of there's a part. He can't even say it.
Yeah.
He can't even say it. And that's when Andrew said, welcome to the end game. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. He's just a piece
Yeah.
of work, man.
I totally
He's a piece
agree.
of work.
I totally agree. So then Foxy goes in there, DS Foxy goes in and says, before before you leave on operations and you're going to not have any communication with the outside world. There's going to be zero communication. So what we do is we write these in case of death letters. So this is going to be like in case, God forbid the worst happens and you don't come back, this letter will be given to your family,
Hmm.
which that is a tough exercise. That is a tough exercise.
Very, very tough. Very tough.
So the DS says they're designed to open up the recruits and show their vulnerability and bring them closer together. Um, again, I think that if you really opened up, it definitely could bring you closer. So we get to the first one we hear, which is Cody's. And Kody writes, "Dear Robin, love of my life. Please tell my children I had wanted more time to tell them. I love them. Something big. I love them big time. I would have got it right if I had more time. If I had more time, I would have got it right. I would have fixed it. You were my rock through so much sadness. I'll see you in your dreams, sweet, sweet queen, my eternal love." That was not what
Fringy. Fringy.
that is not what the DSs told him to do. Like, that was not it. Like,
No, no, no. He had the perfect opportunity. That's what I'm saying.
right,
He had the perfect opportunity to do exactly what the DSs were telling him to do. There was no
right,
apology there. There was no
right.
"I fucked up." There
There
was
was no owning
no
anything.
no.
There was
Mm-mm.
no owning
No, it was
anything.
just all a big bon voyage with popping hearts and
Yeah,
dreams, and it was just cringy.
it was. It totally was. We heard Gia's next. She wrote, "Mom, I wouldn't be the person I am today without you. I'm on this journey knowing you want me to go all the way and put my all into it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Thank you for letting me do me. I love you, Mom."
And she didn't mention her dad or
She did
any of
not
her
mention her
siblings.
dad. No. I think that her and her mother are very close. I
Mhm.
think that honestly, I feel like her and her mother kind of co-parent,
Yeah, and
And
I
I think
did
she parents her mother as well.
absolutely, and I did notice Randall did not mention his wife,
Yes.
and Shawn and Andrews were the best, the best.
100%.
They were
100%.
awesome. They're just such an awesome, awesome, awesome couple.
So Brianna wrote, Dad, my best pal, I think of you every single day, and I thank you for making me exactly who I am. I hope it brought you as much joy as you brought me. Remember, there's always a silver lining. So I guess that must be some saying that they have.
Mhm.
And Randall wrote to his kids, I feel terrible that I'm not going to be here to watch you grow up, but even when I'm not there, I'm always right there. You can do whatever you want to do, just believe in yourself. Andrews honestly was the best. He wrote, Shawn, I'm going to leave you the same way I got you, with a subpar, over sappy poem. Some say they fall into love. I don't think that's right. I say we struggled into love. We both had a fight. You choose to humbly be together. 9 years later, we're still choosing each other. I love you. You'll be fine without me and all my nonsense. I love you, bro. I love
So
you, bro.
cute. So
Loved it.
cute.
I loved it. And Shawn wrote to Andrew, you are my absolute world, my best friend, my teammate in life, and the greatest father to our beautiful babies. You're a greater man than you could ever know. I love you. Squeeze our babies for me, please, every single day. And to all three, I love you to the moon and back. Everything about you is absolutely perfect. You made me a mommy, and it's the greatest job I've ever had in my life. No matter what you do, I'll always love you.
Come on.
Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect. Yes.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I think that was
And
the perfect way to end it, with those.
most definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, it's interesting. I like the show.
I do too. We'll have to wait and see what happens next week.
Mhm,
It looks
mhm.
like they're gonna get their butts kicked.
What kind of buffoonery we can see next
Yep.
episode.
We'll have to wait and see what
Lord,
happens.
it's too much.
It is too much.
But
So, until
it was a very good episode though, I thought, right? Don't you think? It was a good
yeah,
episode?
absolutely. I love this show. I really love it. I'm actually gonna miss it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show.
I may go back and watch the other seasons, to be quite honest with you, that I
Mm.
missed, and see what that's all about, you know?
Yeah, if there's good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.